Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Mayank Sharma. Welcome to my show, and thank you very much for coming to this show. First, like you, please go ahead and introduce yourself first, and then we'll talk about PMP and other educational matters.
First thing,
First,
very good evening, sir. Thank you so much for having me here. No, it's an honor, actually, honestly speaking, to be here. And to introduce myself, my name is Mayank Sharma. Currently, I am in residing in Toronto, and I'm actually from Mumbai in India. And to
Mhm.
give a little bit of educational background about myself, I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. I also hold a diploma in customs clearance and freight forwarding. I've done like from Humber College itself. I've completed a postgraduate certificate course in project management. A little bit about my technical background as well. So I have collective experience of say about 3 years in but in logistics management field. More or less, this is how I started realizing, and this is how I had come to an understanding of project management in the logistics
Mm.
part, and that is where I realized that this is some field where I would want to proceed, and this is where I would want to grow.
Yeah, that's a good introduction. Thank you very much. And I would like to just add into this. When I met you there in the college in my classes, I noticed that you are an active personality. You are very participative in the class. And I think that makes the difference because I noticed that you have that current, you have that potential, which can make the difference. And that's why I started asking you to explore this possibility for PMPs. And I'm glad
Mhm.
that you pursued it and you made it. So congratulations on that. When you look at the PMP, how do you see the potential of PMP in current market?
Like as you mentioned just now, you were the person because of who I realized that I could actually be in a position to get a PMP certificate. I was actually in a sort of dilemma wherein I was stuck between two certifications. That is, first is Certified Associate in Project Management, that is CAPM certification, and the other one
Mhm,
is Project Management Profession. So
mhm.
I was actually under the thinking that a PMP would require much more experience and much more project knowledge, and the weightage of PMP is like pretty relevant in the industry. And so there are a few things that I realized during my research about PMP, that it is a certification. So any professional accreditation that we talk about, it actually justifies your knowledge and the experience that you have had in your life previously in your professional life. Secondly, it is a globally recognized certification. So that is the
Mhm.
best part about it. One thing that I've realized after, like, it would be approximately 10 months or 11 months that I've been in Canada. And since the very beginning, I have understood that the job market here is pretty tight. So
Yeah.
to be relevant in this industry and to be competitive, rather, I would say, PMP certification helps you in a way also. That also helps the recruiter to shortlist the other person down when it comes to PMP. And yeah, apart from all of these things, there are salary benefits as well.
Very good. I think, yes, you have nailed it down that how important it is. And it
Mhm.
gives you an not an entry, but it gives you a distinct advantage over other competitors. But one more thing I would like that CAPM you were thinking, where actually you had the relevant experience. So I have seen this confusion in many people. And
Mhm.
I don't know, like maybe sometime people want to take an easy route that, okay, let's do CAPM will be comparatively easy,
Mhm.
or they really don't know. So what was the case with you?
Honestly speaking, I did not think that I would qualify for PMP exam. Honestly speaking,
Mhm.
so for me, PMP later on, I initially I did not even think to give it a try. Like I had just given
Mhm.
up on it, basically. Honestly speaking, and then when I had that conversation with you, and you told me that at least try for the application, you
Yeah.
might get eligible. You can at least once if you try, because a lot of people like me, we are not that confident because this is a completely new space for us and completely new professional certification that we're talking about. And with that, the motivating factors are really less. So when people as like yourself, who are really experienced, who have achieved so much in life, when they ask us to at least try to at least just go on and check whether you're eligible or not. If it goes through, it goes through. Right? Nothing
Yeah.
like it.
One more point which I want to talk about, which is a hot and sensitive topic today, is about being an international student and being an international student in Canada, especially after these newses. There were a lot of scams here and there. How you are taking this challenge of being an international student here in Canada?
So It is not at all easy, I'll tell you that first. I mean, being an international student here or maybe anywhere in the world, I think it is not at all easy. I mean, Canada has its own pros and cons as well. But then one thing that I was suggested in India as well, that you need to have a good college. Like very recently that I was reading about it and there were so many news. Government of Canada, they have actually cancelled out on the post-graduation work permit for students who will be taking a course in public-private partnership college. So basically, that is Humber College being a very old college, and there are so many other colleges like, and they're
Mm.
recognized as well, and they're also public colleges. But then there are sort of small little, like they have their own satellite campuses which are private licensed,
Mm.
from what I know, and they conduct their own classes in these small little rooms wherein I don't think so if people have space to sit, but then they go
Mm.
through the entire course. There is not much of learning. There's also one more thing that I realized: these colleges and their certificates, they have hold no value whatsoever. Like wherever you go, they have no.
Mm.
So for Humber College, they have they also have an accreditation with PMI. So that helped
Mm.
me a lot to clear off my educational eligibility for
Yeah.
PMP exam.
Saying
But
that
then
selecting the right college, selecting the right program, going through the detailed background check of the college and the reputation and the course background, that makes help you. And I'm glad that you made a good decision. Okay, now guide us about a little bit of exam process. Like, how did you register? How much expensive it was? How difficult it was?
studying from Humber College, it gave me two benefits. It
Mm.
also gave me a theoretical knowledge, a very strong base, honestly speaking, very, very strong base about the PMBOK, about the knowledge areas, about the tools and techniques. Everything was taught so thoroughly. I also realized that this completes my eligibility for PMP exam. So
Mhm.
that is one piece that I did not really have to struggle about. Now coming to the portion of technical background and technical experience that was required there. So in that space, I had to be very specific. Like while applying for this exam, while putting across my application, I really had to be mindful of what I'm putting in. Like so, one thing that was mentioned by you in lecture as well, that you need not be a project manager to take PMP exam. You could be
Mm.
working in a project as a coordinator, as an analyst, any job role, any role that makes you a part of project. Because the application goes through a very thorough process. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, once you put up an application, it will go into the process of 5 days, and after
Mm.
5 days, you there is a final decision taken on the application whether it has been selected or not selected. Before that, I had purchased this student membership of PMI, and that helped me. So for putting across my application, I already had membership, so that is one thing that I did not have to worry about. I just had to put up the application, and so once it went through, then I had to pay the fees, right? So for the fees, I've prepared a table. If it is okay, I would like to share it.
Yeah, I'll
So
appreciate.
that's
Please do that. Yeah, please do
yes.
that.
So basically,
Okay.
this is the table that I've prepared. So if you have no
Mm.
membership, and the examination price in USD is $555 without any
Mm.
membership, and in
Mm.
Canadian dollars it is 777. And I've
Mm.
also mentioned the exchange rate that is a little flexible, like it goes
Yeah.
up and down, but then this is the
Mm.
approximate value
Yeah,
that it has been
approximately. Yeah.
carrying around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you look at it that way, so without the membership, PMP exam is going to cost,
Yeah.
inclusive of taxation and everything, it would cost $844. But
Yeah.
then if there is an individual membership, so the membership is going to cost another 139 USD, and the
Mm.
examination would cost 405 USD. But then taking all these prices into Canadian dollars, even after
Mm.
taking an individual membership, it is going to cost approximately 830 Canadian dollars. And but then when I purchased my membership, student membership, that was $43. The
Mm.
examination price had gone down to 405 USD, and that is how
Mm.
the price for this one for me for the examination had gone to 665 Canadian dollars. So I'm an avid user of Reddit, and there are so many communities that I'm a part of in Reddit. So I
Mm.
figured out that there is a community for PMP exam as well, and
Okay.
that community and that group has helped me a lot for the for every single bit of this exam. And
Okay.
surprisingly, there is a discount code which goes around. So that
Okay.
reduces the entire pricing of PMP exam, of PMP membership, of
Mm.
so many other, basically of a lot of other domains of PMI. It just reduces the price entirely.
I'll appreciate if you share your links with me so that we can put it in our video at the end, and
Definitely.
people would like to explore it. Now coming to the exam point, like how
Mhm.
difficult it was, how many questions you thought out, no problem. How many questions would put you in difficult situation, nervous? Were you nervous? What was? Take us through your exam process.
So exam is not at all easy, honestly speaking. I mean, I don't know if it would be easy for somebody else. Might be, might not be. But then there is this one thing which a lot of people have talked about, that the lesser experience you have in this field, the easier it is for you to take the exam. Because
Mhm,
more or less, this exam talks about the correct way of handling a project, the way that PMBOK suggests,
mhm,
the
mhm,
right way. Because the process and everything, it might change. The management style might change from a person to person. But then the more a person would have an experience, the more it becomes difficult for the other person to have the correct justification of the process as what is mentioned in the PIM. This exam is divided into three portions. That is
okay.
into three domains. That is people, process, and
Mhm,
business environment. People domain would have 42% each. Process
mhm,
domain has 50% of weightage, and business environment has 8%. What really worked out was going through a lot of mock tests. So the exam is basically, it has 180 questions and it is a long exam. Apart from that, if we talk about
mhm,
my preparation plan and the resources that I've used for this exam,
yeah.
I actually, very first thing, Reddit group. Honestly speaking, like that community, that group has helped me so much. It
Mhm,
gave me such a clear idea of what is to be done, what is not to be done at my own level. So one thing that I would actually want to suggest to everyone
mhm, yeah.
before taking this exam, from my resources, actually, this is where I wanted to bring it up, that the resources that I was using for this exam, very first one was Andrew Ramdayal's course. Now this is not a promotional video, of course, but then these were
Yeah.
the resources that helped me personally. So this book that I so the book is called Andrew Ramdayal's exam preparation, PMP exam prep
Mhm.
course, and it is available on Amazon, and it is actually the highest rated exam
Yeah,
preparation
Andrew
book for
Ramlal book
PMP.
is very famous. I know that.
Yes, yes, it
So,
is. It is the highest rated exam prep book. So from that, it also helped me another way, that because I was already eligible for this exam
yeah,
through Humber College's course, I did not come. I did not realize that even Andrew Ramjal's course, when you complete it first,
you get
it gives you a
eligible for
35.
that.
Yes, it gives.
Yeah.
Yes, it gives you a 35 hours of certification eligibility for PMP exam. So somebody
Yeah.
who's not taking an admission at any of these colleges, or taking an admission for project management course
Mm.
altogether, they also have this way of approaching it. So how did this help me now? Now that I had the certificate of Andrew Ramjal's course, once I received my PMP, I took that certificate and I applied, and I got my 35 paid use immediately.
Oh yeah.
Like,
So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So
yes,
for the
so
renewal, yeah, half the work is already done.
half the work is already done. Like I have 3 years to gain 60 PDUs, but then
Yeah.
35 I've received already. So
That
it
is
helped me
already
in these
there.
two ways. And like it was pretty surprising for me as well. I did not like, it
Mm.
was not really planned, but then this was something that I wanted to share on this video. The other resources that I used was 200 agile questions and 150 waterfall questions by David McLachlan on YouTube,
Mhm.
which are available for free definitely.
Yeah.
And the biggest resource that I would want to suggest to everyone would be
Mhm.
Study Hall by PM.
Yeah.
So Study Hall, basically, it is the most accurate, the
Yeah.
most closest thing
Yeah,
that you
because
would
it is
find.
coming from the PMI itself. Sorry.
Yes, 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 definitely.
From the PMI. Yeah.
I just wanted to mention one more thing about the Study Hall
Yeah.
part,
Sure.
that when you take the entire course, the entire exam, it gives exactly the similar type of result that the PMI provides you
The
after the
the
PMP
the
exam.
mock exam give you the same result.
Yes, yes. The
Okay, that's
similar,
good.
exactly as it is, all the domains and parts and everything.
Hmm.
So before taking the exam itself, before failing, the person will
Yeah.
come to know that these are the domains that I need to work on, and they can work on. It has a lot of questions, and honestly speaking, the questions were not exactly the same in exam. But then, since
Mm.
every single question is scenario based, it is a scenario based question.
Yeah.
So there are 180 questions, there are 250 minutes, and for somebody like myself who has trouble focusing at every single point.
Yeah.
Like I have trouble focusing for a very long duration.
Yeah.
For me, resetting that mindset at every 1.5 minute for a new scenario, it becomes really tough. So
Hmm.
for me, this worked like a charm. study hall.
Okay.
It really worked like a charm.
I
That
think
I would
that's a
say.
very important point you have
They,
mentioned, because new generation has the biggest problem with everyone. In fact, this is the time where focusing for a long hours is not easy. Anything which you would like to tell that what they should not do, like something to avoid which distract or which disturb during the exam or during the preparation.
one thing that I would suggest to not do is over prepare.
Yeah,
Like there
true.
has to be a balance, and that balance is going to be variable for every single person. Like
Mm-hmm.
they need to understand what is an over preparation for themselves and what is not. While preparing this exam, I actually came across this one technique that is called the 80-80-70 technique during the
Mm-hmm.
examination. And a lot of people suggested that take those two breaks in between. The ones
Mm-hmm.
that you get after every 60 questions, you receive a break of 10 minutes. Take those breaks, take a little while, relax your mind, do a little stretching, walk around a little bit, have some water, freshen up yourself. So that is one thing that I would want to suggest. That is a thing to be done during the exam, because it really helps with relaxing
Mm-hmm.
yourself after an entire series of 60 questions. This is how I was doing this. Is first 60 questions were taken in the first 80 minutes. Then I took a break
Mm-hmm.
of 10 minutes. Then another 60 questions were taken in another 80 minutes. Then a break of 10 minutes. And then rest of the 60 questions were taken in 70 minutes. One final suggestion for every single
Mm-hmm.
examination
Yeah.
taker that
Yeah.
I
Sure.
realized this exam is more or less to do with the words. Like be mindful of the words. What is the
Mm-hmm.
question asking? Is it
Yeah.
asking for a solution? Is it asking for a process?
Mm-hmm.
Is it saying what is the project manager supposed to do, or is it asking what is the manager supposed to do first? This exam uses a model for the scoring part. It uses a model called 2PL regression model and ITR
Mm-hmm.
model as well. So ITR is
Mm-hmm.
basically item response theory. How
Mm-hmm.
quick is person
Yeah.
responding
Yeah.
to the question? And the 2PL regression model is basically two parametric logistical regression model. That is,
Mm-hmm.
every question will be having two options as such, which would be an obsolete at the very beginning itself. But then there are two
Yeah.
other questions. A lot of people are
Yeah.
going to be finding this. There will be two options as such, that
Mm-hmm.
multiple questions as such, that everybody would be a mindset of 50-50. Like
Mm-hmm.
50% might this might be right, 50% this might be wrong. And the scoring for PMP exam works in this way: is how close and how quick is the
Yeah.
person to the correct answer. And
Yeah.
that is what justifies, because since there is no scoring criteria as such, this is how the approach is. And I think this could pretty much help me, this knowledge, this pretty much helped me personally for the preparation for the approach of this exam.
No, the excellent idea, and I would like to advise my viewers also that practice makes man perfect. MCQs especially require a lot of practice. If it require knowledge, it also require a lot of practice. So thank you very much, Mayank Sharma, for coming to my channel, sharing
Thank you
your
so much, sir.
excellent and even that private tricks and tips you have given to the students. I'm sure it will be helpful, and we'll see many more students like you sitting in here and sharing their experience.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much
Oh,
for having me here. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
okay, great. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.